Keep spending old Naira notes, Rufai tells Nigerians, defies Buhari's CBN policy. So who is Rufai now to defy CBN and Buhari's policy now? That is the question. So Buhari, see, this man, Rufai, has just suddenly turned a rebel because of his support for Tinubu. Let's see. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir Rufai, has called on Nigerians to keep spending the old Naira note, a directive that is in defiance to the federal government's policy on currency swap. Rufai, in a recent footage earlier this week, urged citizens to disregard the central bank's directive and continue to transact with the old denominations of the Naira note. He said the policy will be reversed once APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes president. Can you imagine? In his words, everyone, especially people in Kaduna, should not be disturbed because of the Naira swap deadline, said the Kaduna governor in the Hausa language. That was what he said. Continue running your businesses and daily activities with whatever notes, old or new, you have. We will make sure to address this problem as soon as we win the election. That will be the first issue to tackle if we win the election. It can be recalled that the new currency swap policy has jointly been condemned by majorly loyalists of the party's presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with some claiming it is a calculated attempt to scuttle his ability to win the elections. The CBN had disclosed that the old denominations of the 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes would cease to be Nigerian legal tender from February 10 as part of a wider plan to strengthen the Naira. However, the new notes have conspicuously remained scarce. Naira redesign. All the 36 states governors have unanimously agreed that, like every country, let the old notes and the new notes be used side by side to such a time when the old notes have been systematically drawn out of circulation. Thank you, Kaduna's Iron Man, Malam Nasir Rufai. Somebody's appreciating him there. So in support of Tinubu, Rufai rebels Buhari and CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele on Naira design. Nobody can dictate what we do here. February 10 deadline is not applicable to us. Buy and sell in old notes, and if anyone asks, tell them I said so. Rufai claims. Can you imagine? So what is happening here is that Rufai is personally violating that instruction that is coming from presidency. So he has turned himself a rebel simply because he wants to support, or is supporting Tinubu's ambition. And the truth here is that they are just trying to use a system here to scuttle that. The truth is that they want vote buying. Tinubu has amassed huge amount of money and is ready to spend that money for vote buying. Unfortunately, a lot of Nigerians, because of the stomach infrastructure, are falling into that trap. A lot of Nigerians, I will not be surprised, will sell their votes because of this. And that would be too bad. Okay? That would be too bad that somebody is selling his vote simply because of election. Right? How will somebody give you probably 5,000 Naira at the most? All right? And then buy your life for the next 4 years, and you agree to sell. This is kind of fortunate because that is how bad it is. Selling one's life or mortgaging one's life for 4,000 Naira or 5,000 Naira for 4 years. How can that be possible? How can that be possible? So because the truth of the matter is that all the politicians, they don't have the interest of Nigerians at heart. They are doing what they want to do to get what they want. It's their interest that they're putting forward. All this one that Rufai is talking about now, trying to rebel. It's not a rebel in APC, all right, because of his support for Tinubu. There must be an underlying political agenda, an outside agenda for this support for Tinubu. That is the truth. They know that Tinubu probably is not very healthy and it's not going to, most likely will not complete the tenure. Or they have perfected plans to push him aside by the time he wins the election, okay? And then Shetima will become the president in proxy. That is what I see that will happen. Because Rufai All these Boko Haram, all these Islam activities, all these jihadists happening in North, all the killing in Southern Kaduna, Rufai has not used this kind of force any day. He has never done anything any day to support the people that are suffering in Southern Kaduna. He has never done it. So how come suddenly he just woke up to know that Nigerians are suffering and must fight for Nigerians? No, there must be something underlying. One of the suspicion is the vote buying for APC during this presidential election. Secondly is supporting Tinubu. Having seen the state of Tinubu, there must be something they want to gain. The same way Buhari has been in power for 7.5 years now, going to 8 years, and still was not effectively in control of the government. It's the same thing they want to do with Tinubu. That is the truth. During this Buhari system, we have seen how cabal ruled Nigeria by proxy. Okay, ranging from Abakari to what the Maman Daura, to all of them. Okay, people have just been powerful to a point that even the Buhari's wife at the initial stage was crying that they have taken her husband from her. She cannot have access to her husband anymore. Cabal, the kitchen cabinet, they have taken over everything in the house, that she could not even see her husband anymore. Okay, and at a point there was a fight between Aisha Buhari and the cabal. All right, until after a while the matter died down. It's the same thing they want to repeat with Tinubu. By the time Tinubu becomes the president under APC, all these people working, thinking that working as if they have interest of Nigerians at heart, will turn to be the kitchen cabinet cabal. They will be the Asoro cabal, because we've seen that everything happening at Abuja has been by cabal. So everybody coming to power must have his own cabal. How can we continue like this as a nation? Right? How can we continue like this as a nation? So after CBN governor and even Buhari himself, have approved that the old Naira note will cease to exist from February 10, the Kaduna State Governor Rufai had the effrontery to tell the people in Kaduna to undermine the presidency's instruction, to undermine the presidency's approval, that if anybody asks them, they should say he, Rufai, told them that they will resolve, that it will be the first policy they will reverse if they win the election. Who told you will win the election? Except they are going to win the election by crook. But generally, nobody is going to vote APC again. APC has been a problem to us in Nigeria. You understand? Telling them to go about their normal businesses, spend the old and new Naira notes, whichever one you have, and if anybody asks you anything, tell them, I, Rufai, has told you. Forget about that policy. We'll reverse it when we win election. Those are the words of Rufai. Now, wow. So this is how we want to run this country. This is how they want to run this country for us. It's quite unfortunate. So now APC is divided. It's obvious it's divided. And into how many pieces, we don't know. Now we have Tinubu camp and we have Buhari camp. And they'll be fighting against each other, I'm sure. APC is obviously divided. But how long will it continue to operate in this manner? So that is what is coming from Rufai, Kaduna State Governor. And I'm sure one of the things that must have given him the confidence to do that is because they filed a case in Supreme Court against CBN Governor and Buhari to stop or to nullify that ban or that deadline of February 10 for the old Naira notes to stop or to cease to exist. It's quite unfortunate. So that is what is coming from Rufai. Let's have your comment below.